Sixth grade lesson 6.3 is converting units of weight and mass. And sixth grade, I am telling you, by now you're going to be pretty darn good at this. So we're looking at weight now. So we did length, conversion of length. We did capacity, conversion of capacity. Now we're doing units of weight like ounces, pounds, and tons in the customary measurement in metric system. Yes, there's metric for this one as well. Will be grams and stuff like that. You'll see that one in a moment, but we're converting weights and mass. So all the steps are the same. So I think this time around, like each time it's probably getting a little easier, hopefully. So this time around, you might be like, I don't even need you this time, Miss Sanchez, just leave me be and let me do this. But here I am, just in case you need me. So we have our conversion factors here that we can use, pounds, ounces, tons, and how they relate. Then we know by now we need to do that conversion factor in what I'm changing it to over what label I'm changing it from. And I just multiply the known amount by the conversion factor being these. So whatever amount that I'm trying to convert, I multiply it by the conversion factor in to over from format. So let's have a look. So we have the largest pearl ever found weighed 226 ounces. They want to know what the pearl's weight is in pounds. So let's underline the question. What was the pearl's weight in pounds? The known information, it was 226 ounces. We want to know what that is in pounds. So we're going to multiply the known amount, 226 ounces, times the conversion factor in to over from. So our known information is 226 ounces. Usually that abbreviation is done as OZ, like Oz, ounces. We're multiplying that in times our conversion factor, going from ounces into pounds. LB is the abbreviation for pounds, libras in Spanish, pounds. So we go to our conversion chart to find out what the conversion factor is, how many pounds compared to ounces. And here we see there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. So I'm going to put 16 on the ounces row and 1 on the pounds row. And now I can just go ahead and multiply. So I'm going to put a 1 under that to make that a fraction. And of course my labels cancel each other out for cross reduction. That's the only cross reduction I'm going to do on this one. You'll see why in a moment. Yes, I recognize that 2 can go into both of these and I can reduce them, but I'm not going to, and I'll show you why. So now I'm just going to multiply straight across. 226 times 1 is 226. The pounds label is still there. 1 times 16 is 16. And now I will just divide 216 divided by 16. And now you're probably thinking, man, I wish we did the metric system so I could just move decimals around. So yeah, me too. 226 divided by 16. 16 goes into 2 none times and goes into 22 one time. That leaves me with 6 left over. Bring down the 6. 16 times 4, I think, is 64. Yes, times 4. I could not remember if it was 4 or 5. That gives me 64 with 2 out of the 16 left over, 14 and 2/16. Now the reason I left this non-reduced, and yes, this can be reduced too, however, we're talking about what measurement in pounds and ounces there are. It comes out being 14. Remember, our label was pounds, 14 pounds, and 2 out of 16 pieces for the ounce left over that would make a pound, right? So I'm just going to call that 14 pounds and 2 of those ounces left. So the reason I left this non-reduced is because it kept me in the relationship of ounces with pounds so that I could just say, oh, it's 14 pounds and 2 ounces. Okay, let's try another. The largest emerald ever found weighed 38 pounds. What was its weight in ounces? We want to know what its weight was in ounces. We know that it was 38 pounds. We wonder what it is in ounces. So we're going to take the known amount of 38 pounds. We're going to multiply that times the conversion factor, changing from pounds into ounces. Now I will go over to our chart to find out what is the relationship of ounces to pound, and there it is. 16 ounces equals 1 pound. 16 ounces, so I'll put 16 with the ounces and 1 with the pound. And now I can simply do my multiplication, change that to a fraction, go ahead and cancel out the labels because they cross-reduce each other out. Multiply straight across. 38 times 16. If only it was metric system, I wouldn't have to do this multiplication. 8 times 6 is 48. 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's done. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. 8, 10, 608 ounces makes the 38 pounds. So same steps that you've been doing. Hopefully these are feeling much more comfortable. You're probably going through them a little more quickly than you were before. At first it was a little more of a monster. Now it's probably more of a kitty cat. Meow. So hopefully it's easier. Let's take a look at a couple of metric system ones. Those are easier. And then I'll free you to do your thing. Okay, on the metric system one, same steps again. I know you guys have been seeing the another way one too, and we've been doing it as a separate one. This time I'm going to do them both right there together next to each other side by side, because probably each time this is making more sense too, and you're starting to realize, oh, that's so nice. So the nice thing about metric system is they have their base units like the meter, and then they use the same prefixes: millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, decameter, hectometer, kilometer. So then for capacity, they had the liter was the base unit over here, and they use the same prefixes that all kind of follow the same rule. Now we're talking about mass and weight, and now they use grams for that measurement with same prefixes, same design. So that all falls into the same place, makes it a little bit easier. We'll do it with the steps we're familiar with, but we'll also at the same time take a look at it play out on this. So we're doing both this, the way we've learned, and the another way for metric system at the same time. So here we have Corinne caught a trout with a mass of 2,570 grams. That sounds like a lot. What was the mass of the trout in centigrams, and what was the mass in kilograms? 2 questions asked, so I'll do 2 math problems. My known information is 2,570 grams. I want it in centigrams. And on my second question, I want it in kilograms. Let's split our screen into 2 parts. We're going to, on one side, we're going to solve the centigrams one. And on the other side, we're going to solve the kilograms one using both our normal way and the another way, both. So the way we've been working on it, we take the known amount, 2,570 grams, multiplied by the conversion factor. I'm switching from grams to centigrams, and I go find what their relationship to each other are. 1 gram will go there is 100 centigrams, which will go on the centigrams row. Now I will just do my multiplication. I will cross-reduce the grams, cancel each other. I have 2,570 times 100, which really just means I'm moving my decimal that's at the end of the number there over 2 spots because it's being multiplied by 100. Gives me 2 more zeros. 257,000 kilograms was the weight of that fish in, not kilograms, sorry, centigrams, in centigrams, 257,000 centigrams. If I wanted to use the another way, what I would do instead of doing all those calculations and writing all that down is I would identify, okay, I want to change from gram to centigram, which means I have to go from here to here. That is 1, 2 times that I moved my decimal that way, 1, 2, and I would have ended up with that. So I wouldn't even need to write all that up. Okay, nice little chart. Now it's a little more friendly than it was the first time, right? If I want to change it to kilogram, I start with my known information, 2,570 grams. I multiply it by my conversion factor. I want to change it from grams into kilograms. I go to my chart to find out the relationship of these two. It takes 1,000 grams to make 1 kilogram. It takes 1,000 grams to make 1 kilogram. I go ahead and multiply that. I'll change that to a fraction. My labels cancel each other. I'm not going to worry about cross-reducing. I'm just going to go ahead and do my multiplication straight across. 2,570 times 1. And that label is still there. Over 1 times 1,000. The label was canceled out. So what I'm going to do is 2,570 divided by 1,000. When we divide with bases of 10, we take the decimal and we move it to the left. And I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times to get 2.570. I can drop that 0 off there. So 2.57 kilograms is the answer to that. If I didn't want to take these steps and I had this chart because I'm using the metric system, I would look at where I'm at for grams, what I'm going from, and what I'm going to. I'm going to kilograms. So I'm going from grams to kilograms, and division moves the decimal this way. And I would need to go 1, 2, 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. Ta-da! So those are the steps for converting. So same steps as before. So I think you're going to do just fine on this. Hopefully each time we address it, it becomes more and more clear. Good luck on it. I know you're going to do well this time.